Most of you that are subscribed to me and follow the channel, or you follow me on Twitter or anything like that, you know I love Fortnite Battle Royale, and I'm definitely not alone. The game gets millions and millions of players every day, so naturally, there are plenty of people playing their own way. But the more I play the game, the more I realize how common certain playstyles actually are, regardless of how many people I run into. What's up, guys? Jimmy or Chaos. Welcome to Chaos Top 10s. Tonight, we're going to be counting down 10 kinds of Fortnite Battle Royale players, and be sure to tell me which one of these you are in the comments. And I'm also running a V-Bucks giveaway, 10,000 V-Bucks to the winner. I'll put a link in the description. You can do a bonus entry over on Twitter. I'll put both links. Somebody is going to win some V-Bucks at the end of the month, so good luck on that. And now, let's get into the different kinds of Fortnite players. Be sure to enter the monthly $200 Amazon gift card here on the channel. It's really easy to enter. All you have to do is like the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and turn on your notifications for a chance to win. Leave a comment why you want it with your Twitter handle, and I will pick the winner at the end of the month. Good luck. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the one who destroys everything, or I like to say my teammate Hollowpoint that likes to get every pine tree on the map. As I'm sure you guys know, a big component of the Fortnite Battle Royale is the building, which comes from breaking down various items and structures on the map and repurposing the supplies that you get from them. But we all know that one person who plays Fortnite and just destroys everything they see. It does not matter if they have enough supplies already or if their smashing is going to mess up things for their teammates and their teammates are yelling at them to stop. They don't care. They will always smash everything they see. They could have 700 of every type of material and they would continue to smash everything in plain sight. Do you know anybody like this? At number 9, we have the player that goes for the long shots. When you see an enemy in most shooters, your instincts tell you to just open fire, and sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. However, things are a little different in Battle Royale games as you never know what weapons people have or if you have the right conditions to kill them quickly enough to get away with it, which is why you will often see Fortnite players see someone from a distance, but then let them go so they don't give away their own location. But we all know that one guy or girl who always just opens fire when they see someone, regardless of how far they are away. 100 meters away, SMG, no problem. Open fire. 200 meters away with an assault rifle, you got it. Open fire. 9 times out of 10, they usually end up regretting it. At number 8, we have the one who lands in tilted towers every single match. Now, some of us we like to drop in the map and duke it out with people right away. It's called a hot drop, right? I get that. But there are always those people who land in tilted towers not because they just want to fight, but because they legitimately think it's a good idea. Let me give you guys a little tip from me to you. Don't land in tilted towers if you want to live for a long, long time. Now, you can land in tilted and make it out of life. Sure, everybody can, but if you choose to land there and then die early on in the game, you really have no room to be salty or upset when it actually happens because ultimately it was your fault because I warned you. This is a bad teammate to have right here, the one who can't shoot. There are 2 major components to the actual action of Fortnite Battle Royale, the building and the shooting. Can you make it to the end without being very good at building? Sure, if you're good at shooting, but I think it's safe to say that if you're not good at shooting, you're not going to make it very far, regardless of how good at building you are. And yet, we have all seen that one person who builds this huge, fancy, luxurious tower and then dies almost immediately after getting themselves into a gunfight. So, it doesn't matter how quickly you can get the tower up or how quickly you can build the walls to defend yourself. You have to be able to shoot back and be some sort of a decent shot to survive the whole way, at least for the most part. And I know bad shooters like to overcompensate with nice-looking buildings, but it's not going to win you very many victory royales. Now, let's talk about the one who can't build. We spoke about the one that can't shoot, and this is the game's fundamental, building. And, I mean, you can be a good shot and awful at building. Now, this one isn't as big a deal to me in the grand scheme of things, but it's still pretty frustrating when you have someone like this in your squad. Sure, they can pick people off pretty quickly, and they know how to juke people out and bring them down with a couple pulls of the trigger, but they completely freeze when they have to build something or edit part of a structure. This usually leads to that person in your squad being a little unhelpful a lot of the time in putting the building to others. You want everybody in your squad to be at least semi-efficient in both categories for you to make a good run at it. Cracking into the top 5, the player who rides the storm. Now, this isn't a bad thing, and it's a totally viable way of playing the game, but it's definitely annoying when you see someone else doing it. If you're someone who likes to live as long as possible, but you're afraid of confrontation, you probably shouldn't play Fortnite, you probably need to stay as close to the storm as possible. That way, you don't have to worry about people coming up behind you, and you can let the other people in the lobby just kill each other off in the process, and yeah. Now, I have a buddy named Velocity that calls this strategy tactical bitching, but honestly, it's not a bad plan. I mean, the objective of the game is to live as long as possible, and the kills are not a requirement, so if you're just looking to live, if you're just looking to survive, chances are you've tried this strategy before. But I can't deny how annoying it is to see someone using this strategy when you're going ham and racking up the kills. At number 4, the player who gets sniped a lot. Sniping in Fortnite isn't the easiest thing. It does take some skill, and you have to take a lot of things into account, like the travel time, the bullet drop, anticipating your target's movement, so on and so forth. But there are certain habits that newer players have that lead them into getting sniped a lot. Typically, the person who gets sniped a lot is someone who doesn't move very much, doesn't jump while running, doesn't change up their tracks, or just stands in place while smashing, building, or looking out to a distance. So, while sniping isn't the easiest thing to do, there's a certain type of Fortnite player who always seems to get sniped because of their habits. Little tip: always be moving at least a little bit when you're out in the open, and standing still is a death wish. You should always assume that someone nearby has a sniper, and you don't want to be that teammate that is constantly asking somebody to come revive you because you stuck your head out and you got sniped. At number 3, this one's a frustrating one. The one who has bad callouts or is bad at callouts. Callouts are a pretty big part of any team-based multiplayer game. However, the bigger and more detailed the maps are, the tougher it is to call things out. In games like Call of Duty, Halo, Counter-Strike, or other fast-paced shooters, it's easy to give a general call out because the map is so small and it allows you to be able to help your teammate know what you're talking about if they say backside or alleyway or something else along those lines. However, in Fortnite, the map is so big and there are so many different paths to get everywhere that learning the exact callouts can be tough, especially for new players, and that always leads to that one person in your squad who sucks at callouts. You can't blame them too much because Fortnite definitely has a bit of a learning curve, but it is definitely super frustrating when you're playing with someone who just does not know how to communicate or call things out. And I have 2 friends like that I play with, T Martin and Hollow Point. They don't like to call out. They like to go shoot the guy and then let you know where he was. At number 2, the one that dances after every kill. Okay, getting kills in Fortnite is beyond satisfying, but that does not mean that you should let yourself get super cocky. I like to say whenever we're playing and somebody gets a kill and they get super excited over and over, act like you've been in the end zone before. Act like you've got that touchdown before. Just be cool about it. When you get cocky, you let your guard down and you end up regretting it most of the time. But we've all seen the one person who breaks out in a dance after every single kill they get just to rub it in. And I mean, if you get a cool kill or you win a tough fight or a 1v2, 1v3 or clutch it up, by all means, do a little celebratory dance because you earned it. But there are those people who like to dance at every possible chance they get. Maybe they're just trying to get people salty, or maybe they're just super cocky with their Fortnite skills, but there's also nothing more satisfying than watching somebody get killed because they started dancing after they killed someone else. Even honestly, if it's someone on your team, it can still be pretty satisfying. And finally, the last type of Fortnite player. The one who thinks everybody else is cheating. This label can be applied to players of pretty much any multiplayer game because there's always someone who thinks everyone is better than them is actually cheating, and they're not better than them. Someone headshotted me from 200 meters. Cheater. Someone who one-shotted me with a pump at longer distance. They've got to be cheating. Someone who knew exactly where I was inside a building because I was stomping around and being super loud. No, sir. They are cheating. It is pretty easy to blame your deaths in an early access game on cheaters since they tend to have not so great security, but you have to be at least a little bit aware of your own skills. You have to look inward, look in the mirror sometimes, because most of the time it's probably not a cheater except for when the whole under the map thing was going on. Most of the time it is probably from something that you did or you didn't do or lack of skill. But I get it. Nobody wants to take fault. Nobody wants to take ownership, so we'll just say they were cheating. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 kinds of Fortnite players. You guys, let me know. What are some other types of Fortnite players that you've encountered, or some of your squad mates? How do they act? What are their tendencies? What do they do that annoys you? What do they do that you like? we can do more videos like this if you guys like. This is kind of a special gaming top 10, but Fortnite is definitely a game that I am playing a lot of right now, so I thought it would be fun to do. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. I'll put a Fortnite playlist and the top 10 playlist below. Turn on your notifications, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a new video.